It's time to let the good times roll. KTVS 3 and KPXJ present the 2025 Krewe of Gemini Parade. Brought to you by Live Casino and Hotel Louisiana and Shreveport Area McDonald's.
Oh, folks, it is parade day. Take a look right now. Here is a live look for you as thousands of people lined up along Clyde Fant there for you, Clyde Fant Parkway in Shreveport, hoping to be among the first to witness the floats, the bands, and all the Mardi Gras magic that's in store for us here today. Cannot wait. Hello, everybody. Welcome and happy Mardi Gras to you. I'm Patrick Dennis.
And I'm Madison Edwards. It is parade day for the Krewe of Gemini. The parade will roll out at 3:30 and make its way along Clyde Fant Parkway. We've got cameras along the parade route to bring you all of the Mardi Gras magic. And here's a look at that route. It begins downtown on Clyde Fant Parkway at Lake Street, heads south of Shreveport Barksdale Highway.
Now, from there, it's going to continue west towards East Kings Highway, where it's going to turn south and make its way to Preston Street. Now, the parade ends just before Preston, where the parade end sign happens to be located.
Apropos.
Yeah, floats will stop throwing at that point.
And Mardi Gras in the Arklatex is an annual celebration that brings communities together. But there was a time when the good times did not roll in Northwest Louisiana.
That's all changed when a group came together to form the Krewe of Gemini. Now, our very own Rick Rowe, well, he takes a look back for a look at how it all got started.
100 of us cost us $100 a piece.
Yep.
$100 a member.
Hey, that was big money back in 1989. That was before the casinos came to town, before anybody around here ever heard of Mardi Gras in the Arklatex.
We're the ones that started it.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
We started this.
These were the pioneers, the trailblazers, the Lewis and Clarks of Mardi Gras. In fact, that first year, this fledgling Krewe of Gemini pulled 10 floats out of Monroe.
What did people, do you remember the response as you're going down I-20?
They didn't let us on I-20. We were on Highway 80.
Yes, even the cops were dubious of this thing called Mardi Gras in the Arklatex. You see, it had been 60 years since a king and queen had paraded down a Shreveport street on a float. These are actual home movies from 1927 of that early attempt at bringing Mardi Gras to Shreveport, and this one only lasted 2 years. What in the world made them believe it would work this time?
We couldn't even see the crowds. When we all pulled out and the parade started, it really kind of brought tears to your eyes because we didn't know there was going to be anybody there, and there was huge crowds.
50,000 that first year, double that the next, and every year since, hundreds of thousands come just for the fun of it. But for them, there is something else.
We have met more friends.
We didn't know Ed, we didn't know Patsy or Ray or Don. And you grow more friendships, and we're like a family.
Funny how life is. You step out of your comfort zone, roll up your sleeves, spend a little money, take a chance, and sometimes you hit the lottery. The Krewe of Gemini did. We're sure glad they brought us all along for the ride.
Kind of one person to take us back in time is going to be Rick Rowe to show us
Definitely
what
is.
it all looked like. The Krewe that brought Mardi Gras back to Northwest Louisiana is celebrating its 36th anniversary.
And we'll talk with one of the Krewe of Gemini's longtime members to take us back through the years. So keep it here. We're back in 2 minutes. Well, let's let those good times roll. We all get to experience the fun of Mardi Gras, but there's a lot of work that goes into putting on a big celebration with today's parade.
Yeah, Bernie Bidding knows that best. She's been a member of Gemini for more than 30 years, serving in many roles over time. Bernie, thank you so much for joining us here this afternoon. 36th anniversary of this.
Correct.
So why don't you give us a little bit of background here. How did you start and when did you get involved with the Krewe?
Well, I was actually asked to be a charter member for the first year, and I was like, I don't know if this is going to work in Shreveport and Bossier. So I waited a few years before I joined, and through the years I became a Duchess for Gemini 10, and then captain of the Krewe for Gemini 26. and here I am with y'all today.
We're looking at a lot of different pictures here, and I'm assuming are these some pictures that you are part of here that we're taking a look
That
at?
picture there is when I was captain, and my float riders, the ladies on there. That was coming out on the stage as captain and waving, going, the ball is taking off.
And how does it feel whenever you go to those balls, you take that stage to be recognized for the work that y'all do in the community with the crew for over these many years?
Exactly. Through the years, we introduce all of the past captains, kings and queens. We also recognize dukes and duchesses. But it takes a full year working on a ball. It takes a full year almost working on a parade. And people don't realize all that goes into it. Plus, we do a lot of nonprofit work.
I was going to ask you about that too, because a lot of people just see what we see on parade day.
Right.
They see that there, but you all are involved. You make visits to school. You raise monies for different things. Just elaborate that a little bit so people know that it's much more than just about putting a parade on.
Well, we have, after the ball, we have hospital day that we go to several of the local hospitals. We take our own beads that we buy ourselves, stuffed animals and other trinkets, and give to the children's areas at the hospitals. We go to the veterans' homes. We go to nursing homes. Our royalty makes lots of visits. I mean, from starting in January, they get started going to all of the different groups that want them to come, the different schools that want them to come out and participate. We do a food drive. We do Toys for Tots. We do a lot of charitable things.
And the people that do those things, the royalty, tell me how they get selected. I know that Gemini is also a family crew and that more people who join the crew have their sons, daughters, nieces, nephews join too.
Exactly.
But what about the royalty selection process?
We have a royalty chair, and she has, or he has, a committee. We have to fill out an application, and it's somebody that really wants to be royalty will fill out these applications, and they go through and they select the royalty. They pass it on to the captain, because the captain is ultimately the president of our crew, and it's actually his or her time to say yes or no to those people. And so royalty's formed. We have a lot of prince and princesses that are future kings and queens and dukes and duchesses, and that has happened to us. So it's really neat to see the youth get involved with us also.
And again, talking to you here today, very neat to hear about some of that as well. But right now we're going to go take a break. And as we get ready to take a break, we're going to look at this year's Grand Marshal. He's Chief John Mark Davis.
And he's an actual Indian chief. He assumed this role and responsibility as chief of the Adai-Caddo Indian Nation at the passing of his father in October of 2022.
It's the grandeur of it all. It's just wonderful. It's very exciting. It makes me so proud to be able to display our people on, in our culture, even at a Mardi Gras. It's very exciting.
Welcome back once again. We want to take a moment to congratulate the members of this year's Gemini Royal Court. Gemini 36 is led by Tony Richardson.
And he serves the crew along with King Mike Goslin and Queen Janie Boydston.
It's a great honor. I really enjoy being kind of the liaison for Gemini out in the public, and being able to do interviews like this, being able to go to schools and nursing homes and bring Mardi Gras to the community.
Welcome back once again, everybody. Bernie Bidding joins us right now to share her insight into the crew of Gemini for us as you're celebrating 36 years.
Yeah, and Bernie, we just heard from the King this year, and you've served on the Royal Court for many years. Can you tell us some of the responsibilities that go into being a Duke, Duchess, King, or Queen?
Well, it's a full commitment to the crew. You have to be ready at any moment to go to a school or to nursing home or wherever is needed. Not only that, I mean, you're having to go to New Orleans, try on those costumes, because our costumes come from New Orleans, so there's a lot that goes into being a king, queen, duke, or duchess. Not only that, you got to be at all of the meetings and everything. You're the ambassador for the crew of Gemini, and therefore you go to all of the balls, all 15, and I understand there's another crew that's forming right now, so it's going to be next year all 16 crews. So you go to all of the different balls and everything, and you're like I said, you're an ambassador to the crew of Gemini at all times while you're royalty.
So in other words, if you're asked to do this, or something like that, you have to make sure you are committed, not 100%, but 1,000%.
1,000+%.
It's not just those amazing costumes that they make for y'all in New Orleans. I mean, even what you're wearing right now, the crew's jackets and the just aesthetic that they bring out there. Talk to us about like the way that we dress our royalty to be that ambassador.
Well, we do. Each royalty captain picks out their color scheme as to what they want their jackets to be. I mean, we've got some that are in pink and silver. So, men look good in pink, they say. You guys ought to know. But anyway, the captain picks out a lot of all of the worry about what am I going to wear, what am I going to do. So these jackets become something that you will wear throughout the whole year, to the meetings, to different events that we go to. It's kind of like it's a pleasure putting on a jacket that's got the crew crest on the back. It tells if you're a duke or duchess or king or queen or captain. The pins that are on here are given to you by different crew members in Gemini and also other crews, because you become family members to the other crews. And I mean, just like I was Captain 26, I still have lunch with some of the people that were in other crews that you form a bond with also.
I was actually thinking about that, forming bonds with people, because it's almost like you were saying earlier, families. When you get in this becomes a family tradition. And I know you were watching the video a little earlier from Rick's, and you made a comment, though, but it's a serious comment, though, too, that you've seen people, join, and unfortunately some are not with us anymore, but I guess you form strong bonds with those individuals.
Just like, okay, for instance, I'm on the tidal float. We've got people that have been on the tidal float that my husband and I are friends with for over 30 years. We've gone on vacations together. We do a lot together. We meet every month almost, and just to say hey, it's a family. They become your family.
It's not only a family; it's a legacy too.
It is.
It is.
It is.
Yes, because we get together and we laugh about what happened 25 years ago, what happened 30 years ago, with the crew, and how much it's changed, how much we have grown, how much we make donations through our civic work that we do throughout the Shreveport-Bossier City area. So a lot has changed and a lot of growth.
Yeah. We'll continue talking a little bit more with Bernie about the history of the crew. But right now, as we get ready to go break, here's a look at some of the other members of the royal court. Keith Woods and Elizabeth Crafts are the Duke and Duchess of Arkansas.
And then we have Gerald Adams and Ashley Brent, the Duke and Duchess of Louisiana. And Tony Nations and Leslie Smith are this year's Duke and Duchess of Texas.
Gemini is extremely active in the community. We do a lot of community service projects, visitations like the other crews, and it's building a network of friendships that will last they're going to last a lifetime.
Gemini Queen Janie Boydston shares what she feels is one of the highlights of being a member of the crew of Gemini. Each year, crew members take Mardi Gras to those who can't make it to the parade by visiting places like the Northwest Louisiana Veterans Home. Gemini members also give back to the community through various fundraising events to support local charities.
Welcome back once again. We have with us today, in this case, Bernie Biddings joining us to talk a little bit about the crew Gemini itself, the history of it. Let's just go for what we were just talking about there, what the Queen was talking about, taking Mardi Gras to different places and doing it. What is your reaction sometimes, or the feeling that you get whether it's from a float throwing beads out, making the visits out there to different places, that people that can't maybe come to the parade. I'm sure that means something.
It does. Whenever you go to a hospital and you see a child that, you know, will not be able to come out and catch the beads on the side of the road, but you're presenting them something right then and there, and the look on their face, that's $1 million right there.
I can't even imagine what that feeling is like there with it. We were chatting a little bit too in our break with it. How about planning? A whole lot of planning has to go into this. So this year's theme is what?
Dreamcatcher.
Dreamcatcher, and we are actually wearing their official design for it right here. But that just can't happen overnight. How is that decision made on what next year's theme is going to be?
Our captain-elect, Cole Guthrie's already got his theme down. He's already gone to visit with Mardi Gras decorators for the different royalty for next year. I mean, he's already worked on it. And as captain-elect, he's been working on it all year along with Tony. And so he's already got his ideas as to what he's wanting to do and bring to the crew for 2025-26 year, or Gemini 37.
Gemini 37. So you obviously have to put a lot of planning into it ahead of time. I wonder if anybody's ever talking in his ear saying you should do this or you should do that. Is he getting a lot of feedback from people?
Yes. We get a lot of people come up to you and say, what all do you have to do to get ready?
Yeah.
I've got people that have told me, I want to be captain in the year 40. I want to be captain in the year 42. I mean, so we've got people out there already thinking, you know, as to later on down the road what they want to do and what they want to bring to Gemini.
Okay, well, we're going to have a chance to chat with you a little bit more. We want to thank Bernie for joining us again today for all of your contributions to the crew of Gemini. Crew of Gemini has 6 young princes and princesses on this year's royal court. Gemini 36 princes are John Michael Salvell, Andy Schmidt, and Brand Tyndall.
And Gemini has 3 princesses on the royal court. They are Catherine Adams, Anna Bushnell, and Mara Matlock. Stay with us. We're back in 2 minutes. Let's get these good times rolling. The parade is making its way along Clyde Fant Parkway as it approaches our cameras near the Stoner Avenue exit.
Yeah, we're going to check in right now with Sydney Lane. She's there to get a look at some of the floats there and marching groups as well. Let's see what's going on with her.
Hey guys, we're out on Clyde Fant. The parade hasn't gotten to us yet, but I've made a few friends. I have Bradley, Allie, and Alana. Are y'all excited for the parade?
Yes!
What are y'all excited for?
I'm excited for people to throw beads, and I'm excited to catch them and catch a lot of beads.
Yeah, what about you?
I'm excited to catch the beads and the water guns and all of that.
Yeah, are you excited too?
Kind of.
Kind of. Are you ready to see some of the cool floats? Any exciting ones you're ready for?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, can you show me this cool little thing you got here? I know you've been blowing some bubbles. Oh yeah, we got bubbles everywhere. We're having a good time. It's packed on Clyde Fant. It's beautiful weather, so it's a great time to come out and have a fun time at the Crew of Gemini parade. So I'm gonna send things back to Madison and Patrick.
Thank you so much there, Sydney. We'll, of course, be checking back in.
I mean, hopefully the bubbles will still be blowing all day.
I think those bubbles are going to be going all afternoon long.
And now Daniel Brown will have to wait a little bit longer for the parade. He's live for us near the East Kings Highway Duck Pond. It's one of my favorite places along the parade route. Daniel, what you seeing out there?
Madison, the sun is shining bright. The crowd is slowly filling in. A lot of people set up already along East Kings as they're getting ready for the Crew of Gemini parade. This is the end of the parade route at East Preston and East Kings Highway. And I said this at the Crew of Sobek parade, one of my favorite parts of Mardi Gras is the smells. Everybody cooking, and I can smell crawfish right now as we'll go in and take a look at one of the kind of tailgate areas set up. People already indulging in various parts of Mardi Gras. And we can check out the crawfish crawfish right now. This is a pretty good slate of cooking right here. We got sausage, we got lemons for the seasoning, and of course the crawfish itself, the star of the show. The star of Gemini will be the parades, the crew, and everybody. And the sun will be baking everybody at a nice cool temperature, about 70 degrees right now. It'll start cooling off towards maybe the 60s towards the end of the parade route. Once the parade floats start to get over here towards the end of the route. But as we can check out the rest of the route along East Kings Highway, so many people walking around, various vendors selling items, little kind of plastic swords for kids, plenty of footballs being thrown, so plenty of fun being had right now along East Kings Highway for the Gemini Parade. Patrick and Madison, I know you guys are going to keep everybody covered on all the information going around Shreveport.
Thank you very much there, Daniel. And that spot is always highly coveted.
Absolutely there too. And here's the deal of it is, remember the theme is Dream Catcher. It's a dream to have perfect weather. I don't think we could have asked for better weather at all for a Mardi Gras parade.
Definitely so.
Yeah, that wraps up our special look at the crew of Gemini 36.
And stick around, our parade coverage begins in just a few minutes. You can watch us on KTBS, ktbs.com, and KTBS Plus.